3, 2, 1, live limitless. And today we are going to live limitlessly with Shruthi. Shruthi is the founder of purplehippie.in. It's a consumer food startup started since 4 years, been tremendous growth and improvement. And the founder Shruthi is from the fitness industry, 20 years of experience in the fitness industry as well. And she has gladly agreed to go on the show and share her perspectives. So I have prepared a bunch of questions to ask Shruti so that we can get her perspective on the business and the personal and professional development that was responsible. And let's get into the show. But before that, let's welcome Shruti to the 3, 2, 1 Live Limited. Shruti, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Ram. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure. And as for the format of this interviews are concerned, I would like to ask you my first question, which is
Sure.
I always like have seen, and especially now during the COVID pandemic and all these days, people have a lot of questions about what to eat, how to eat, whether eating is safe, eating outside, eating inside. There's so many questions. So now, can I ask you to tell me the importance of eating right in the current scenario?
Right. So, just like what you said, Ram, I have 20 years of experience in the fitness industry. So, eating healthy has always been a part of my lifestyle, and it should also have been a part of everyone's lifestyle. But from what I've seen after starting the business, it's easier to sell a samosa than a granola bar, right? Having said that, there is a change that is happening in the industry. People are becoming more conscious of what they're eating. And unfortunately, we had to have a COVID happening for people to sort of start realizing that they have to focus on immunity, not just the way their body appears, right? So unfortunately now nature is selecting who gets to live and who doesn't get to. It's come down to that, because it's so important to have your immunity in check,
Oh,
and making sure that you don't have any underlying disease at the moment. So the way forward for all of us, considering that we've gone back to work, it's really important that you take care of yourself, making sure that you get your vitamin C, your vitamin B, your D3, making sure you have your antioxidants, everything in place, right? And as much as we like to rely on food that is coming from a restaurant, you also have to make sure that you have hot cooked coming from home. See that your macros are balanced, making sure you're getting enough carbohydrates, enough proteins, enough good fat, and making sure that you have the important elements in your food. And buy local vegetables, buy local fruit, buy locally produced food. That is the only way forward for your body.
fantastic, fantastic. So buy local. Even the Prime Minister of India was saying, support local people, local vendors. I resonate with that. So when we talk about buying local, supporting local communities, they are all small businesses. So why do you think we should support these small businesses as
See, there are two aspects to it, Ram. When you say buy local, go vocal for local was trending. So it has a whole Swadeshi movement ring to it. But we also have to see that we live in a global village. You cannot discount investments coming in. We cannot have globally competitive product out there without collaborating with other countries. You cannot put products out there. It's not possible. But the flip side to it is small companies are struggling at the moment. So it's important to reach out, like say to your, to your grocery store down the road, right? So give him that 10 rupees extra. Forget about the discounts that you may be getting from a large vendor. it's important to reach out to him. He has a family to feed, he has rentals, he has employees. I've been seeing that. I mean, a lot of people are letting go of paying rent, for example, right? But we also have to see the landlord is relying on that rental money to come in. As difficult a situation as it is important for us to come together as a community, put that money out there, spend it on your local vendor, and keep the economy moving.
Awesome, awesome. And yes, I could relate to that as well. I have seen so many times, people haggling with roadside vendors, with the little vegetable vendors, and
I
people who
know.
sell flowers. So they are haggling for 10 rupees there, while they are spending a lot more in malls, and not they don't have a
Yes.
choice. They pay whatever is listed on the produce. So that's definitely resonates with me.
We're all
And this is
guilty of
difficult
that.
time. These times are difficult, and this is the time for us to all show up in our best self. And what's your idea about giving back to the society during this difficult time? How do you suggest, or how do you? Yeah, what's your idea on this?
At the moment it can start off really small because we're not in a lockdown anymore. It can start off very small, making sure you're doing your part by wearing a mask when you go out, making sure that you don't go to a large gathering and you discourage large gatherings. And it could also move into making sure your domestic help, they're all paid for, even for the time that they couldn't come during the lockdown, and making sure you've paid all your rentals, making sure that all your employees are taken care of at work, right? And uh, and also making sure that people around you, like let it be a migrant worker or let it be a friend who's running a small business, take care of them too. Like I said, it's a difficult time for all of us, but this is this is the time when you put your best foot forward, take care of yourself, take care of the community as in large. And like our apartment, we decided that we're just going to cook one extra meal, not much because I know everyone's busy and everything. We just cook one extra meal, we consolidate that, and then we give it to an association that is in charge of distributing the food to migrant workers. So if you could do something small, at the end of the day it matters.
Absolutely. And first of all, congratulations on this, and kudos for your entire group who are doing their little bit to help the situation. Fantastic. Thank you for the support that all of you have been doing. And
All of us have to do this, Ram. Yeah.
which brings me to the second part of this interview, which is, yeah, I know that you have been a fitness expert for the last 20 years, and last 4 or 5 years you have been running your own business in the consumer food industry. So I would like to ask you to share um, one or two tips or pieces of advice for someone who is looking up for advice. Maybe some of our viewers are starting their own
Right.
business. What would be your advice? One or two pieces of advice for them.
I struggled through the first year of my business. I assumed that business will happen if you put your head down, focus on work, and that's pretty much it. But then I realized it doesn't work that way. Oh, doors don't open up magically. You need to go out there and make sure that you have the right contacts to do that for you. And especially in these times, you can't be running the show alone. You need to go there, make collaborations, network, meet people, and help each other grow each other's business. So my biggest advice is join a networking group, a business networking group, because it's amazing the kind of knowledge that these network groups have collectively. And so it's important for you as as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, to actually be a part of these networks.
Awesome. And another tip or advice would be,
Make sure that you work out, folks. That is very, very important at the moment. Have a moderate amount of exercise being a part of your lifestyle, like on a daily basis, not a very intense workout, because that in turn will compromise your immunity again. make sure you eat well, make sure you sleep well, make sure you drink enough water. And I hope that this situation doesn't bring you down. This is not the end of it. There is a way forward from here. This too shall pass. So I hope all of us can be happy too.
Absolutely. For the last part, I wanted to ask you for a resource, but now I will backstep a little bit. And you just said,
Sure.
don't exercise, I mean, exercise moderately, but don't over exercise. That can
That's right.
compromise your immunity. That is very interesting. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, a very, very intense workout for a very short time actually suppresses your immunity.
Really? Oh,
Yes, it does. So it's also important to work out moderately and take care of yourself.
that's
It
very
may
interesting.
it may suppress it for just a short amount of time, but it still does.
Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your insights in this quick interview series. And I'm sure our readers and viewers will have plenty of questions as well. And let's see if we can answer those questions. I will think back with their questions to you and see if we can
Sure,
get them the answers they need. And if people want to
anytime.
learn more about you, maybe I think they can go to purplehippie.in. So that's where they can learn
Absolutely.
more about you.
Yes, please.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you very much for joining us on this show.
Thanks, Ram.
Thank
Thanks for having me. Bye.